listening and watching, and welcome to Season 10, Round 4 and 5 of the Star Arms Dodgeball Roundup. Will begin shortly.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
All right, everybody. I know you all are excited because we are going to be unboxing the new Star Wars deck building game, which I'm sure will become our most favorite science fiction based deck building game ever. I've heard it is very realmsy in nature, so let's check it out. Yeah, I pre-ordered the game, so I got some really keen Star Wars sleeves, which will be nice. So when I'm shuffling it, I can shuffle as much as I want and not have to worry about shuffling the tits off Darth Vader or anything. It also comes with these weird little cube things for keeping track of your resources, which seems kind of dubious to me. But I've also gotten lazy with the app for Star Realm, so maybe these will come and help. but you can play either as the rebels or the empire, and you will be dueling with another person. There's also like this weird like force track, so you keep track of,
Oh,
I don't
hi
know, it's
Al.
super
Sorry,
cheap.
so sorry I'm late. Oh, what's that?
We're doing the new Star Wars deck building game tonight, right? You said I could do a space themed deck building game, so I found one.
I'm all in. Carry on.
All right. So the force track is super cheap. I'm not saying they're as cheap as the scorekeeping cards from Star Realms, but it pretty damn close. Um anyway, where else? Oh, I think in this little bag there's like one little white cube for the force track. I don't know.
Oh,
Anyway, can we just go through all the cards?
it
How much time do we have?
individually. Oh, I told them we were doing it, but I think we should probably not do it just to keep the joke running and
No.
save that for
Alrighty.
another time. Let's see. Do a couple cards though. Let's see a couple.
A couple cards?
Yeah, why
I'm gonna
not?
go to the bottom because that's where all the high cost cards are
That's
that
where all the
everyone's
best stuff
interested
is
in.
always, right?
I mean, there's like Darth Vader,
Hang,
of course.
hang on, Al.
Um,
Let me just invigorate you so that the
ooh,
people,
invigorate.
yeah, the people can see. There we go. Now we got Al.
So there's Darth Vader.
Very
I
cool.
gotta find Chewbacca though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what a Wookiee.
What a
Boom.
Wookiee. Oh, look at that. Look at that handsome debonair Wookiee ready to smite.
I know. He's so hairy you'd think he's an Armenian.
Now, Al, are those cards quite shiny or are they just in like very nice sleeves?
They're in the sleeves. Apparently, pre-ordering it from my local game store, it came with a free pack of these uh, Star Wars sleeves.
Oh,
So
look at that. That's very cool.
yeah, so I got to spend most of sort of looking at them as I was sleeving them, um, and it looks pretty neat. In all honesty, like it's very just on first glance, it is very Star Realmsy. The main difference being instead of having like an authority total, you have like planets that are on your team, and people will destroy the planet, and then you get a new planet, and each planet has like a special sort of ability that it gives you.
Oh, cool. Well,
So anyway,
I think there'll come a time where we'll
all
do a
right.
bit more of that. But we
Yeah,
are
we maybe if I can get a chance to play it this weekend, I can give a better review.
very cool. But for now, we should
Here's the
probably.
important question though.
What's that?
Am I echoing?
I know, right? So we made some changes. I thought I broke something else, but I think, fingers crossed, that Al should not be echoing. So no echo. So
All right.
it's only been the best part of 3 seasons, Al. We finally got Echo 101 sorted. So, you know,
Yes.
nothing to
I
worry
can't wait
about
to
here.
find out what we break next.
I know, right? I was very, very careful to not come in muted as well because I was like, oh, that's just gonna put the icing on the cake. But no,
Yeah.
we got around that. I'm so pleased we haven't got an echo. That's fantastic. Okay. So it's been a while. I had a really busy couple of weeks. It's difficult to do to do Star Arms dodgeball shows when you're working nights. Um, but but let's get into it. Good evening. We've got we've got Simon, Jeremy, Grandma, Dion in the chat. Hello to everyone. We've got a couple rounds to go through. So and I think I tried to pick out some highlights from chat because I know I hadn't done that kind of the last couple times. I do think we've got a little bit of gossip in the T section now, so we should get to it. But first, let's remind everybody where we're at because that's always a good place to start. We've as we go into round 4, we're looking at this is really a kind of a tale of the top and the bottom in the sense that we've got Nightmare on Realm Street and Midthromar up there on 3-0, and we've got the hapless Hannibals and a girl who dodgeballs alone at night sitting winless at the bottom. So really, really very stark contrast in this table at the moment, Al, as we march on into round 4 here.
Yeah. I mean, the nice thing is, since everybody plays everybody, we know we won't end the season with 2 undefeated teams, and we won't end the season with 2 uh, winless teams.
Yeah, I don't know what the schedule looks like, but it could very well end up. I mean, imagine if it ends up with the 2 top and 2 bottom teams both fighting it out on like the last round. That would be epic. But
That would be pretty cool.
it would be, but you know, the goal would be maybe not to be winless until then, before then. But we'll see what happens. But
All right.
that's where we're at before we go into round 4. So tea. Let's go tea. We've got in amongst all the games, we've got a little bit of kind of gossipy stuff of each game. But I do have a couple of bits. I got oh no, we did the Brent one, I think, or that may even be from a previous season. But we've got we, no, that's another one. Oh goodness, that's one I never got round to. So this is I'm gonna bring this out actually because this is a cracker.
I have a question. Why do we beg people to send in tea if you don't share it?
Because I have real attention problems sometimes, I think. This one though, from a Chip and Balls game, is Darklight saying that he missed Hypaspist, threw back at him, and the reply was good strategy to build up your win percentage a bit before hitting him.
Wait a minute. Chipping balls? That's from like how many seasons ago?
No. Anyway, this one comes from the Bulls Have Eyes group chat. So apparently, open hostility broke out shortly after the Bulls Have Eyes began their introductions after the draft, possibly instigated by the sender of this sip of tea, as if no one was asking. But it just so happened that 4 of them went to universities that are not big fans of one another, and definitely not of Ohio State, if that gives you a clue as to who could have been sending this one in. Especially as the recent college football playoff. So something that someone was happy to point out and take jabs at. Naturally, polite introductions quickly devolved into taunting and non-dodgeball sports commentary. By the time of the 3rd or so introduction out of 7, the chat very abruptly went silent and everyone went to bed. Goodness knows what the rest of our teammates are going to think. We're all angry weirdos. PC Load put it best. Fuck, this is starting well. Will they feel better in the morning? Will they pull together as a team? Who knows? But boy, can this player, apparently, according to their own words, be a pain in the ass sometimes. So we also have disappointment from Yeti that there were no matches between Wheels and Seabus Ripper, as Yeti wanted to chant that the wheels on the bus go round and round, and not one single throw between those 2 players. And then we got an MVP nomination, most valuable punching bag for Wet Yeti, soft, squishy, and really easy to hit. So there we go.
Oh,
I know. So those are the sips of tea that we got sent in. Finally caught up on those. Some of them from last year. Sorry about that, but if you, and I promise I'll look at them again for next time, if you do want to send in any tea, I was going to drop the link in the chat. It's srdbtatler@gmail.com. And, you know, once a year maybe we'll look at those and bring them up in the show. But thank you everyone for sending in your tea. We did get around to it eventually. There we go, in the chat. Fantastic. And then we've got some other bits in and around the matches as we go court to court. But speaking of court to court, court 1, we've got the catch assist coming up straight away against the invasion of the dodgy catchers, Al. Now, this one at the beginning of round 4. I've got some interesting notes on this one. I've got sexy possessed osmosis Brent is throwing balls. That's Not necessarily three words I wanna see together in a sentence. And we also had an interesting period of play where Juan Carlos deciding on how to find the best format by imagining himself to be herself and then visualizing being possessed in either the upright or downright position, and whether that would provide a better result or not. Like, is that horror yoga? Like, is that downward demonic possession? Is that what's going on there? Do you think?
Maybe.
I don't know. My favorite part though of round one is that of this match is that after the game's concluded, PC Load Letter wanders in with a result from a different match and posts it as a result. So if you haven't had a chance, if you don't regularly check the chats, just check that thread because right at the end, PC Load Letter Jason Shaw just comes in all absolutely positive. He's posting a result in the right thread until he's shown the error of his ways. And this court, like, it's basically empty at this stage. Everyone's
Yeah,
gone home.
I think. Yeah, because I think I got a notification for that court, and I was like, I thought that was over, and I don't think he's supposed to be there.
I mean, it's one thing to turn up to the wrong court at the beginning of the game, but it's another to turn up
Yeah.
to the wrong court right at the end. Um, but anyway, with that all said and done, let's have a look at how this game went. So, and let me just double check to make sure we're not falling into our same old traps. No, this is the correct game. Excellent. So we had Roland Parr and Emom69 beginning with balls for Catch Assist, and then VQ, Osmosis, Brent, Wheels, Sturrock, and Lux16 all invading the center line and grabbing balls for their side. Again, you know what, Al, I kind of gotta, in some ways, gotta give props to Lux. Like, he might not still be checking chat. I can't verify that he is or is not, but he is at least throwing his balls quickly because he eliminates Drew the Rat immediately as the first action of the entire game. I think that's the second time he's done that this season.
I have to say, this round that's currently going on, I've noticed he has posted more like commentary in just this particular round than he has, I think, for the entire previous season combined.
Well, that's fantastic. That means he's getting into it. And,
like one of his posts was like almost a full paragraph. I didn't read it because,
yeah, for
it
sure.
wasn't that funny, but it didn't start off very well. But I was like, there's a lot of content there. I was like, what's gotten into him?
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to see people getting engaged. So more of that, please. But
Yeah.
Certainly Lux beginning at the speed of light and taking Drew the Rat off the court. Wheels can't connect with Emon69, but Osmosis Brent does eliminate Jester 204, writing them a lovely song on the way out there, as he is wont to do when he gets some victories under his belt. Sturrock misses Jonna
That
Ann.
actually, hold on for a second.
Sorry.
That reminds me, should we tell people that Jester very graciously came in as a sub?
Oh, we should. Yeah, that might be confusing for
Patreon.
people. Yeah. Yeah, Jester very graciously came in as a sub, didn't they?
Yeah, came into sub. Patriarch was on vacation, and I believe Jonna Ann and Ninji Nin came in as replacement co-captains.
Oh, okay, that makes sense too. Yeah, that makes sense. And Ninji in this game obviously involved here. Okay, excuse me.
Anyway,
So
sorry,
yeah,
you may continue.
yeah, no, it's all good. I may continue. Thank you, kind sir. So Brent gets off to a screamer, taking out the sub, making maybe Jester wish they hadn't turned up. VQ can't take out Roland Parr, and Sturrock misses Jonna Ann before Roland Parr eliminates Dakaran, making sure that he's not getting the evil clone Dankaran, and definitely gets his man there. Before Sarah T catches Emom's ball and revives said graphics Supremo back to the court. Dankaran, like his bum hardly touching the bench there before he's back in. Wheels, however, eliminates Emom69, making sure that no good deed goes unpunished. Roland Parr can't take the ball off Osmosis Brent via a catch, but does dodge it. But it then eliminates him on the rebound. So killing Brent with his own ball, bit harsh, but not necessarily unfair. Wheels again going for Jonna and can't take her out before Ninja dodges VQ. Jonna then catches Sarah T, apparently, who wanted a piece of the action, reviving Drew the Rat before VQ catches and eliminates Ninjanin, um, forcing sub co-captain onto the bench. Wheels finally gets Jonna Ann though, and Sturrock also eliminates Rollin Parr before dodging the return ball. Juan Carlos levitating majestically to avoid Lux 16's ball before Rollin Parr makes Dakaran sit down yet again. And Juan Carlos can't take out Lux. So fairly brutal passage of play there. A couple of catches and lots of eliminations on both sides there. Jonna misses Sarah T, trying to take her out, having caught the ball. But Juan Carlos does take out Lux and then catches Sturrock to revive Jester and eliminates Sturrock. And then Jester eliminates Sarah T, and Wheels eliminates Drew the Rat before dodging Drew the Rat's return ball. And then VQ eliminates Jester before Juan Carlos catches Wheels. And it's just an absolute, like, this passage of play, Al, is just brutal. We've then got VQ missing Juan Carlos eliminating VQ, and I think that's the last significant action of the game, because then it's just Juan Carlos floating to the left and right as he avoids return zombie balls from VQ, and that wraps up the game right there. 45 actions, pretty lengthy game. Four catches, I think. Plenty of action going on there.
Let me see. 2, 3, 4, 5 catches.
5 catches in that game. Crazy.
2 of them belonging to Juan Carlos.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that makes sense. So obviously, downward demonic possession, obviously working for him in the yoga positions. It's maybe Huanglish, he's starting up his own artistic studio with language and exercise as a holistic healthy lifestyle choice. So who's our MVP on this one now?
It's got to be Juan again.
Yeah.
To go with those 2 catches that I mentioned, he also had 3 hits. He played 14 games that round and won 10 of them.
Oh, that's a lot.
That's a lot. I mean, not to say that the other team wasn't playing too. VQ had 11 games and won 7 of them, and Wheels played 9 games and had 7 of them. So
yeah,
there was some pretty good performances on the other side of the court too. But I mean, it's Juan.
But you also you can't give an MVP as per our obviously rules. You don't give an MVP to a losing team member, do you, Al?
That's true.
Yeah. And is that was it this round that Adam tried to do that, or was that last round that he was in his list of things?
Yeah. So just so people know, I always pick the MVPs and the money balls, but Cranky Day likes to sort of do his own list and chime in. Usually me and him are pretty close, but for round 5, he picked a lot of people who were on the losing side.
Which kind of isn't what we do here, but that's what the player of the round is for, right?
Yeah.
That can be from anywhere and just rewards a great performance, regardless of the result. So that's court 1. We're now gonna zip off to court 2. And this one is Hannibal's versus Stramborker's Catchup. A very strong thematic element coming from Bork's team here. Very big on their thematic throws. However, we do also have a couple of funnies from this one. And we do love a little bit of thirst every now and then, and it's, I think, appropriate, Al, that a team made up of vampires are perhaps a little bit thirsty.
A little bit.
In the game thread of this one, Cbus posted a meme of Cartman saying, "Why is no one looking at me?" Clearly not getting the action he was anticipating from the opposition and their balls. And whilst he did want to throw at Simply Steph, he claimed that she was occupied and unavailable. She then responded that she may be occupied, but wasn't really very engaged because it was a game with ACOX89. So I thought that was kind of funny, but also mean. It's right on brand. But Let's have a look at how this game shapes up. We've got it's a fairly even split of the race balls, Al. We've got Serafina, Zwivix, or Civics player as he's better known, and Riska taking their race balls, whilst Acox89, Jace Ascended, Bork, and Wet Yeti take balls for their team. And Cbus, if you want to be engaged in the game, you got to win that race ball, buddy. That's how that one works. Serafina dodging Wet Yeti's opening salvo before eliminating Binkley, just taking him straight out. Probably a blessing in disguise, allows him not to throw more catches, the poor man. Jace Ascended can't take out Riska before the Civics player goes Yeti hunting and bags himself a furry one. But Bork and Beans eliminates Zwivix in reply. Bork then catches Civics and revives Binkley before Acox eliminates Bahamut, Riska eliminates Yarboa, and then that terribly exciting game sandwich in the middle there is Acox 89 missing Simply Steph and making her free and available for someone else to throw at. Binkley with his ball misses Vorazori before Bork eliminates Serafina. Cbus finally getting in on the action, dodging Serafina and taking control of that ball before Darth Binkley eliminates Vorazori. Tatiana catches Bork and revives Civics. Jace can't take out Riska at the first attempt. Cbus misses Tatiana. Jace then dodges Riska's return throw before Cbus eliminates Tatiana. Bork catches Serafina, reviving Wet Yeti. Acox eliminates Simply Steph. Cbus eliminates Zivix. Zivix eliminates Wet Yeti. And then it's with the final throw of the game after Jace has missed Riska. Bork and Beans finally gets Riska, and this one's done in 33 hours. It was a pretty quick game. There weren't many balls that didn't go without a target elimination. I think maybe 5 or 6 there.
Yeah.
Pretty brutal, as you would expect from these vampiric bat throwers. I think I've also seen Coffin being thrown.
I was gonna say I gotta give it up to them that I was on our last show many months ago. I had asked for people to come up with some themed formats, and
They did
they
not
took it
disappoint.
seriously and came
Yeah,
up with
yeah, Coffin was
which I
good.
believe is CAWFIN.
F1N, yeah. So you've got you've got my favorite Colony Wars is the base set there, and then you've got what Cosmic Gambits, Assaults, Fleets, Frontier Events, and Promos 1, I think.
Yeah.
So there's some spice in those there hills, and clearly working for them because they're being heavily rewarded for their on-theme throws as the team of vampire bats transforming coffin livers. So props, absolute props to Bork and his team there, really bringing the theme there. We got an MVP here, Al.
We do. It is Captain Bork.
Ooh.
He scored 3 hits, 2 catches. He won his race. He also, I believe, won 6 out of his 7 games for an 86% win percentage. Also, I would just want to also give a shout to his teammate Jace, who won all 5 of his games.
Ooh,
he just
nice.
didn't get any eliminations.
Yeah, so I mean that's still important. Ball control, is still important to the team. But yeah, the results kind of matter too. So, well, congrats to them. Congrats to Bork. A fine game, leading in captaining style. And then Al, we moved to court 3. I believe you might have some interest in this particular game.
No.
A Nightmare on Realm Street versus Rocky Horror Picture Throw. Now, I don't want to be accused of putting words in Clever Missy's mouth, but according to Clever Missy, this was the first time all season she'd got her hands on balls. So take that as you will. You can obviously confirm nor or deny as you choose that one. There were also a couple of other amusing moments from this game. It was one where I don't know what happened in the game, but it sounded like it was one of those absolutely miserable games where nothing goes right. Darklighter commiserating with Dion, saying that basically everything went wrong for him, and Dion replied that it started when he got the 3. So I presume Dion went second and got a 3, and then couldn't maybe buy anything, then got a 5, and apparently just bottomed everything after that. Like it sounded absolutely atrocious. However,
I'll be honest, the whole match felt like that for my team. We kept just like when you said they were commiserating, like I can't remember specifically because there were so many times when we were sending each other
No,
like,
don't.
I can't believe this happened. We bottomed this. I can't believe I topped all my scrap. Like it was just the whole match. Like we were done. Just we were done before it started.
It's all right, Dion man. Like I've had a game this round, in fact, just recently that I can empathize with you greatly. I had Wrecker, and I was looking at being able to get Peacekeeper because my opponent was going to get Factory World, and I already had Oracle. I was going to scrap down. It was going to be great. When I took my turn, Factory World was gone from the row, and so was Peacekeeper, and Factory World was in fact in play. So these things happen, and I got caught. So yeah, that these are things
Yet
that
we
occur.
all still continue to play this crazy, crazy card game.
Absolutely. As bad as catches feel, they're so good when they like the crest of a hit. However, Al, that wasn't the last thing in this thread that I wanted to bring up because there was a call for lots of Rocky Horror gifs in the thread. So what did you do?
I posted a bunch of Rocky gifs.
A bunch of Rocky gifs, which technically is not Rocky Horror gifs, but was very very
I don't know.
funny.
Have you seen Sly Stallone try and act? It's pretty horrific at
It's pretty
times.
horrific. I did chuckle. I did chuckle at that. It's like, come on, you guys, let's get more Rocky Horror gifts, and it's just sliced alone, like
Yeah,
post after post. Loved it. Okay, we should probably talk about the match though.
yeah, I guess.
I guess so. A pretty even race ball split, as we've mentioned previously. Clever Missy got her hands on that ball to start with, and so did you, Al. In fact, along with the Bagsman. And then Polites, DG3 Dusto, and Alderin all got their race balls. And nothing really happens for like the first five actions. We got like Dusto clearly got the hots for you and Darth Kronos. He's trying to get all of you out and nothing going on. Bagsman dodges DG3, Darklighter dodges Bagsman. And then Alderin eliminates Clever Missy, Darklighter eliminates Baggio, Polites catches Clever Missy and eliminates her because there's nothing else to do with the ball at that time. You dodge Alderin, but then Darklighter takes out both Dion Lunsford in the aforementioned Game of Misfortune and yourself, and then you get Zim 108 on the back throw. And we're what, like 12 actions in, and almost everybody's dead. It's just an absolute horror show. Politas then takes
Yeah,
Rip's life. Rip gets DG3 on the zombie ball. Bunch of dodges and misses involving yourself and Bagsman, Kronos, and Darklight. A couple of tit for tat balls between them. Dusto catches and eliminates Markbot, and then it's down to Polites finally taking out Darth Kronos. And for an extra bit of salt in the wound, his zombie ball goes to Darklighter, who catches and revives it to bring back Zim 108, and it's just absolute carnage.
yeah.
Like
It
32
was it
actions.
was so horrible. Mark Bot just completely erased his memory from that week.
Oh, he just went full shutdown and reboot.
Yeah, full shutdown, reboot. It was yeah.
Shocking. And
It was yeah,
we've all had rounds like that where it just nothing goes right, it's all bad, and it's all over real quick. Especially,
exactly.
they're a good side as well, so you give them an inch and they'll take an absolute country mile. So not much you can do about
Oh yeah.
that. I guess you should, as much as it pains you to, talk about an MVP for this game, Al.
I mean, I'm giving it to Darklighter. He got 3 hits. He threw 4 balls and got hits on 3 of them. And
Woo-hoo!
then the added insult of that last catch to then revive Zim, the one thing I did that round, which was get a hit and then just undo it at the end.
Just
So
right there.
yeah,
And
we're giving it to Darklighter.
a nice guy, like super nice dude, and it's when you've
Yeah,
had a bad game, it's always good to have a heartfelt commiseration. So, stand up. Rick's a stand up guy. So, but
yeah.
performance wise, very very strong round for Rick. Always good to see. Uh, then we come to court four, which is girl who dodgeballs alone at night versus the balls have eyes. Now I can't remember who it was in the chat, but someone said finally an easy team, and I, I'm not so sure about that one. But there are a couple of good ones from this thread. Sethestral accused Grandma of trying to drive a wedge between donuts, as one of her first actions of the game was to order Chasmo to try and take his head clean off. Captain Sandra then sent Hypaspist after Sethestral, who and I put my dodgeball where my mouth is. I went for a thematic girl suck format because we too are a team of girly vampires. So I thought that was going to be good. We'll see how that goes. Sethestral, however, also put an end to Super Grandma and her cronies by knocking her to the floor. We got contentious issue raised as Sethestral claimed that the real donuts do not have jam. Really, the big issue of the round, Al. Do donuts have jam or not? Sethestral says not. As an Englishman, obviously, I'm a strong proponent of the jammy donut. I think we'll probably be talking about this one for a long time. If anyone's got any strong opinions in chat about jam donuts,
The important issues of Dodgeball.
yeah, jam donuts, yay or nay? It did
Yeah.
also bring up a reference to a particular escapade of mine from my youth, which I did. It took, I don't know who did it, but it took four or 5 days for it to be approved to be posted. I don't know what. It's the first time I've ever seen that in the Facebook group where a post has to be approved by moderators. I don't know whether I've been flagged or whether that's just what happens when Google Docs get added. But if you want to see my most exciting and impressive drinking story, head on over to the round 4 court 4 thread for Girl Dodgeballs Alone at Night versus the Bulls Have Eyes, and you will not be disappointed. I promise you. This it also though devolved into the poop deck show later as she refused to die after lots of balls coming at her face, and that's probably a good time to actually get into the race itself. So let's close this down and bring up the game. Pretty long game, this one. We started off 3-4 split, really quite solid. We got Flydar, Poop Deck, and Fire Driller all taking balls for our side, and Tuna Slap, Corey Bear 88, Slavic, and Starmark taking balls for the Bulls Have Eyes. Starmark straight out the gates takes out Viselis, clearly not wanting any of his shenanigans in chat early on. Slavic then takes out Fire Driller, so we're 2 down early. It's not looking good. Fire Driller can't take out Agent Sato, although Corey Bear did target me early on, and I have to say, as bad as Dion's game was earlier on, as bad as my game was this round, that game was absolutely horrendous. It's like I'd paid the Star Realms dodgeball gods, and Corey Bear had run off with one of their daughters. Like it was that bad. Nothing went right for him. Everything went wrong. I got ridiculous flips. The trade row basically served itself up on a platter. So yeah, I caught Corey Bear thanks to no skill on my own part. It was genuinely all trade row nonsense. And it wasn't even my format, so it's not my fault. Starmark then missed Chasmo. Sethestral caught Flydar, the first of the minions to be sent after his head. And he revived Corey Bear, so as bad as that game was for him, it didn't last long. Chasmo managed to take out Starmark, and Starmark misses Chasmo on the response. Then Chasmo is sent after Sethestral. Grandma pitching a donut against a donut, and a donut won, but it wasn't hers. Sethestral dodged that game. Slavic, thinking that he'd take my head off, threw at me, and I caught him, which was quite satisfying because I think maybe Corey had been like, he's not that good, he just got really lucky, take him out. And I don't know, I think I got lucky again, but what you could say. So Slavic got to sit down and make the cookies, but then I got sent after Sethestral, and my first attempt at Girl Suck did not go well because I got caught. So there we go.
Wait a minute. I have a question though.
Yeah.
For Girl Suck, what do you use for the S?
2. The promo's 2.
Oh, 2? Okay.
It's the thing that most looks like an S in the.
Oh no, I get it. I
was
was because yeah. I've looked at trying to do formats with S's, and Yeah, the 2 works.
I find
I
the
might
2
have
to
to
be an
go.
acceptable substitute for an S.
Yeah,
And I'm willing to defend that and fight people. Um,
no, that's great. I'm trying to figure out how to do like a SilentAl format, and I immediately hit S, and I was like, well, this is impossible.
this isn't gonna work.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that'll work. Um, but back to me being caught by Sethestral, and then he dodged my other ball. Uh, he misses fly dash. Super Grandma dodges Tuna Slap's attentions before Poop Deck misses PC load letter. There was a lot of talk about printers getting jammed in this one. I think that's people have started to clue into paper jams and office space finally. Agent Sato misses Flyder on the first attempt, but gets his man on the second attempt. The Thestral then takes the bull by the horns and eliminates Super Grandma, trying to put an end to her shenanigans of sending her minions after him, but realizing perhaps that she might become more powerful than he could possibly imagine from the grave. Who knows? Poop Deck again missing load letter. Chasmo dodging Thestral's attempt. Tuna Slap catching Grandma's zombie ball. And that revives Starmark. Chasmo can't take out Tuna Slap on the first attempt. Thestral misses Flydar. Poop Deck dodges Thestral. Load Letter dodges Poop Deck. Again, they're going at it, hammer and tongs. Chasmo finally gets Tuna Slap out of the game, and Poop Deck eliminates PC Load Letter. Game perhaps coming back to the girls who dodgeball alone at night. But then Poop Deck misses Thestral twice in a row, dodges Corey Bear's attention. Chasmo can't take out Star Marks. Thestral misses Poop Deck with a return ball. Chasmo dodges Agent Sato. Poop Deck takes out Sato. Like Poop Deck having a great game. Um, like dodging everything and killing people left, right, and center. So Thestral dodges Poop Deck. Starmark dodges Chasmo. Poop Deck misses Corey Bear. Chasmo dodges Starmark. So Thestral misses Poop Deck. Starmark dodges Poop Deck before everything horribly goes wrong and it's just this slaughter. So it begins with Starmark taking out Chasmo. Chasmo's return ball takes out Sir Thestral. Sir Thestral eliminates Poop Deck. Chasmo takes out Corey Bear, but Starmark dodges the throw from Poop Deck, and the game is won by one sore bottom to none. A really, really close game, Al. It was
Yeah.
hugely long. It was like almost 60 actions. Cracking game, but fair play to the Bulls have eyes. They took that one home. Um, and at one point from our side, it was very much the Poop Deck show, with Chasmo kind of playing supporting actor. But
I was gonna say, Poop Deck played 17 games that match. Chasmo played 15.
yeah,
And then
yeah,
on the other side of it, Sir Thestral also played 17 games, and Starmark played 11.
yeah. I'm not sure Thestral would have liked to have played all those games, but I'm not sure he got a choice in almost all of those. Because
Well, I think he enjoyed. I mean, he won 11 of them, so I know he liked at least at least
yeah, yeah, yeah,
65% of those games.
he did afterwards, but like hindsight, like he probably didn't expect to
Yeah.
see every single player on our side being told to throw at him. Like I don't know what Super Grandma's got against the Thestral, but boy, was she out for his blood. She's probably going to call me a liar in chat, to which I would say, does she have any proof? And I bet the answer is no.
No.
But anyway, Al, there should be rich pickings for an MVP from that game because there was so much action.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go with Sir Thestral. He got 2 hits and 2 catches.
Yeah, it's solid.
And like I said, 65% win percentage. That's especially with that high volume of games. That's pretty good.
Yeah, and there we go. In comes Super Grandma with the liar comment. Fantastic. If you've got no evidence, Grandma, then I'm sorry, I'm not interested in your protestations. So congrats to Thestral, congrats the Bulls have eyes. It's like we came so close to winning a game, but it was not to be. But court 5, the last one of round 4, we've got the Blobadook versus Mid Thromar. Both pretty good teams lining up here. That sounds like you're phoning it in, no passion. There's no. Doesn't sound. I don't believe it. Do you believe it, Al? I don't.
Uh,
I'm not even trying really. Um, so, Blobadook versus Midthromar, and this one, pretty quick affair. Now, Commissioner Cranky begins with a ball, as does October and Tyraziel. BPB, Jar-El, JP Runs Funny, and the Catman Guianos will win their races. But before we get too deep into that, I think we've got some. No, we've literally. Oh yeah. So hang on, let me see if I can. I'm just gonna. I'm gonna take a moment, Al, and
Okay.
bear with me, Fluff or Phil, because
So I assume this has to do with M. Colo and her amazing return to memeing people.
this is 100% linked to Mkolo's shenanigans. Yeah. Um.
Yes.
So what I'm actually gonna do is I can't I can't do it that way, so I'm gonna have to do it this way. I'm just gonna have to create a source and go with it because this is again, Mkola has returned to form in quite the way, and for everyone who um, likes to browse game threads, I must urge you to go into this game thread and get involved because when Mkolo hits fire, boy does she hit fire.
Yeah.
Um, it's absolutely amazing. So I'm just gonna can I interact with this one? Oh yeah, there we go. So I think I now have to transition in, don't I? Yeah. So this is I open the thread, Al, and this is what I see. It's it's a picture, I presume, of CJK Flyer. Um and let me just try and there we go. That's that's where we're at. A higher man is an actual butthead. Baby seeks revenge after months of overbearing fun. So what Mkolo does is she goes through your
She
Facebook
goes through
photos.
your Facebook,
She,
finds a amazing picture, and then captions it like a news story.
yeah. Um and literally like I because I search in the dodgeball group, I just search for like season 10 round 4 or whatever and search, and that brings up all the threads, and then I can easily look at them. But when you like expand the comments, it doesn't start at the beginning, it starts like randomly somewhere in the middle. So I open up this match's comments and this is all I see is just really set the tone of the game for me. It was absolutely fantastic. And there are some other ones in there as well. Simon's laughing his ass off now, but he's also the subject of one of those, as is Jar-El. And
Yeah.
oh, that one is so good. I haven't dragged that into my sheet prep, but like go to the thread, have a look at it. It's just genuinely hilarious. So I'm just gonna get rid of that, and we'll get back to the game. But yeah, that was what a way to start off that match. Um, just so funny. Um, there were also Giles did really bring some quality this round. Actually, I think I probably need to bring that back up actually because apart from let's have a look at that again because it's funny. Um, but we've also got he wrote a little poem. Well, firstly he brickwalled Kincaid. It's kind of I think it's cheating, Al. If you build a wall so your opponent can't get to the ball, that feels like cheating. Um,
Yeah.
but then he redeems himself by putting a poem in chat. A ball in hand, I like the feel, the moment of truth, our monster's real. So obviously he sends that format, the REAL format, to his opponent, Kincaid. Um, so then there's a picture of like him being down to 45 against 27 and facing a discard 3, and I think that's against Terraziel. And then he brings out this this gem. It's always the unknown we fear, and the dark under my bed. Is that a scary monster I hear? Three unknown, a few points left. I need some help. Quick, hand me a phone. But once you dare to take a look, the monster under your bed you may have mistook. A sound that came across so scary was just a grumble from a tummy so hairy. The monster was nothing but fluff. Jar hits Tyraziel 79 to -12 with ball 3, having been 45 to 27 down. Just disgusting. But also,
Yeah.
wordsmithing some poetry in there. Gotta hand it to
Oh.
Jelly. Absolutely fantastic. Love that.
Between that and the themed formats they have been coming up with, just extra credit all around.
Absolutely. This season's really providing a lot of entertainment. I love it. So that one, oh, and there was, oh, goodness me, there was more. And actually, this is, I'm gonna have to bring us back into this one. The reason I do need to go into more is because not only did he come up with another one when he threw at Kincaid. The wiser among us, they know to start small, play your cards well, and don't lose your ball. But see, I have but half a brain, and patiently waiting I think is lame. So, Mr. Kincaid, come here, my dear. Ball 3 is coming. I have no fear. Again, horror themed. Love it. Kincaid, who, I mean, I love Kincaid, but Robert's not the most verbose man.
Right.
And yet, he rewards Jelly's poetry with like this fever dream, like hellscape. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's given him a whole story that starts off with dreaming about a Toyota Corolla and then drags Jelly into it. And there's like this back and forth between them, like heat style, and then but I did learn that Robert Dixon, aka Kincaid, was born a Canadian. So there we go. I learned something new every day. That's why he's so nice.
Is that why?
That's why he's so nice. It's because he's Canadian. Everybody knows it. So then, so Emily, but BPB's picture from Emily as well. I forgot about that one. That one's an absolute cracker because she goes on to, not only is it funny, like there's a palette painted with an American flag on it and all sorts. She then goes on to shame him for what no one else can see in the picture that she cropped, which is that he's poking a fire with a stick at the same time, which makes it funny when you look at the newsreel she's got. And as icing on the cake, Bartos promises to take October on a desert vacay, but rather lets them down in unchivalric fashion. So this game absolutely provided all of the lols for me, Al. It was absolutely great. But we should probably get into looking at the actual actions of the game instead of talking about the thread, I guess. But yeah, this game, this thread was nugget after nugget of absolute gold. So Mkolo begins not just talking all of the smack, but also catching and eliminating BPB. First action of the game. Ben thought he could take out Mkolo rudely disabusing him of that idea with an 81 differential. Cisco Alvarez then dodges Commissioner Cranky's attempts at affection before October eliminates Lex Neville. No mean feat. Lex is had a pretty good rookie run so far, if I remember rightly. October not letting him get ahead of steam. Just they took him out absolutely mercilessly. JP then takes out Morfada. Morfada then not having a good again dangerous player. But they're not at the races today because JP has really done a number. And then we get into the Jael show. He Poet Laureate's Tyraziel. CJK catches Mkolo reviving BPB just to show her that one good turn deserves another. Sadly for Jael, the story that he gave to Kincaid ended in a fever dream catch. And Jael got to sit down on the bench and contemplate his life choices, perhaps. CJK then eliminates Mkolo. I think this really, Al, is where it all began. And I think that's why Chris got the brunt of the newsreel wrath with a child's bum on his face, which I mean is partly his own fault, but whatever. Cisco Alvarez misses October. Cranky Day catches CJK's ball and revives Morfada. They get back into the game there. Mkolo dodges Guianos. The Catman couldn't take her down. Probably that ball was why he got some attention as well. October misses Cisco Alvarez twice before he dodges for the third time. October then switching their attentions to BPB, eliminating him. Cranky eliminates CJK. Cisco eliminates Kincaid. JP eliminates Penguin Army, who up until now had been doing I'm not sure what, but certainly not involved in the game. JP dodges October's throw. Morfada dodges Cisco Alvarez's throw. Cisco misses Cranky. Cisco catches Cranky, eliminating him. JP takes out October. The Catman dodges both Kincaid and Tyraziel before Cisco Alvarez eliminates Morfada again. And JP dodges the zombie ball of Morfada, and that game is done. So, yeah, Mid Thromar coming out the victors. Fairly bloody game though, and just with some of the most quality content I've seen this season now. It really was an absolute peach for just so many reasons. So please do go and check that out. Round 4, Court 5, will not disappoint you at all. Um, I guess we should probably talk about an MVP for that game. I mean, there's so many non-dodgeball options there.
I know. I mean, I partially want to give it to Emily just for the memes alone, but
Yeah,
she's on the losing team. I kind of want to give it to Jael just for the poetry.
yeah,
But I think we have to stick with actual like dodgeball stats.
I think so.
Uh, well, mostly I think just because Cranky will get upset if we don't.
Yeah, yeah,
So I am gonna go with JP. He was 6 for 6 in the games, um, and he threw it 3 times and got 3 hits. So he was 3 for 3 on throws for
that's
hits.
pretty persuasive, right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, congratulations there. And I guess this means that we are on to Player of the Round and Moneyball.
Yeah. Player of the round is going to go to Juan.
Yeah,
I mean, just another dominant performance. 3 hits, 2 catches. Uh, won 10 out of 14 games with a 71% win percentage.
yeah,
I mean, yeah, it was pretty massive performance.
yeah, yeah. It's a big one, and when Juan's on his game, like he's just
Oh,
such an animal.
yeah.
And how about that Player of the Round? Sorry, the Moneyball award. That player that brings the most value according to their draft position. Al.
I am giving that one to Starmark this round.
Oh, nice. Yes.
He was drafted, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth round? Fifth round.
Yeah.
By Sir Thestral, and he played 11 games, won 8 of them for a 73% win percentage, and was able to convert 2 hits.
Nice.
And he won his race. So that's some great production from any place in the draft order, but especially that far down.
Well, 73% is a number that anybody could be proud of for sure.
Oh yeah.
So congrats to Starmark, and double congrats to Juan for taking his MVP and Player of the Round.
Mm-hmm.
And then Al, this leaves us as we go into round 5, looking at kind of a similar picture to the one that we were looking at coming in. It's Nightmare on Elm Street, or sorry, on Realm Street, and Mid Thromar sitting at the top again. 4 points separating them on breakers. And then we've got a girl dodgeballs alone at night. Actually, ironically, moving ahead of Hannibal's only on the breakers because we had such a close game. We got 6 breaker points from that game because they only had 1 alive. But both still, unfortunately, without a win. So it's very much an ineffectual fight at the bottom. And then the rest of the field is as you would expect them. We've only got one team. The Bulls have eyes sitting at 3-1. Everybody else 2-2 until you get down to Invasion of the Dodgy Catchers at 1-3. So still all to play for, but beginning to look like Mid Thromar and Nightmare on Realm Street are kind of vying to put some distance in between them and the Bulls Have Eyes. Hard to see those teams losing 2 games, but anything can happen.
Right.
But the Bulls Have Eyes definitely well placed to scoop up one of them and pull them in, especially with good breakers like that. So everything to play for as we go into round 5 and beyond. Don't forget, we've got 9 rounds in total this season. So another 6, 7, 8, 9, another 4 rounds left to play. We're going to go through one of those directly. I will stop recording. I'll leave the stream going and we'll just set up for the next one.